No, nothing. Get on with the video. Hello. And in this video we are talking about Basileans for King's War Vanguard. The Basileans are the original knights and peasants force that Mantic do. Yes, they've got the Kingdoms of Men, which they had in first edition, but as an army with models, Basileans came first. They've got the Brotherhood, they've got the Leader of Rhodia, and the Kingdoms of Men, but they're all near enough based on the Basileans, with some variations such as water elements for the Brotherhood and halflings for the League of Rhodia and such like. They are holier than thou with angels, which kind of get them to believe they are right because angels are real, and you are wrong because angels do not work on your side. Although I'm still a bit bitter that there is no Eloi in this force. They're not stealthy enough. Try explaining ogres, trolls and the abyssals. So starting with the warband ability, Iron Resolve. You need 2 power to use. This ability may be used any number of times at any time a Basilean model suffers 1 or more hits from an attack or spell. When the ability is used, the model can make all required armor rolls for the attack and a modified 3+. So you're rolling on 3s rather than whatever your armor value is. Each model in the warband may only use this ability once per round. It's a bit limited, but considering you need 2 power to use it, at least you're not going to want to overspend on it. At least there's that. So the spells, we've got Blessed Light, which is long, 12-inch range. Choose a friendly model within 12 inch of the caster. No dice roll is required. The next time the model is targeted by an attack, the attacking model must re-roll any dice that cause a hit and accept the new result. Which isn't bad. It's a nice defensive spell. Shame it's long, but considering what it does, I can understand. Divine Flame, which is long, 6-inch range. Choose a friendly model within 6 inch of the caster as a target. No dice roll is required. The target model may make a single 2d8 melee attack at melee 3+ on an enemy model using any crushing strength the target model normally has. So if you use it on someone with crush strength 2, they can make a melee attack with crush strength 2. The enemy model may already be engaged with the target or up to 1 inch away. The target model must have a melee stat enabled to use this spell. There's a boosted version, costs 1 power as above, but the target model may make a second 2d8 attack in the same way against a different enemy model following the same rules. Can you use the boosted version to do 2 attacks on the same target? It's nice to know if that's the case. Divine Flame ain't bad. What I would possibly do is have it properly, have it where it just increases crush strength by 1. It's nice to have an extra attack hitting on 3s, but I don't know. I think there's something a bit missed on that spell. So, starting with the grunts, and we have the Man-at-Arms. 8 points, 20mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 5, range of 5, armor of 5, nerve of 5, 1 wound, height 2. 2d8 in melee, 1 at range. Can take a spear for 1 point. It's not bad stats for a basic grunt. Mostly you've got something with at least 2 stats within a 6, sometimes even a 7. It's not bad at all. Taking a spear to make it 9 points, that's not bad either. I mean, the downside is stats aren't amazing, but at least you've got options with it. Plus, with most stats being 5, it's got a chance of surviving a bit longer than you think. Next we have the crossbowman. 9 points, 20mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 6, range of 5, armour of 6, nerve of 5, 1 wound, height 2. 1d8 in melee, 2d8 at range. It's called crossbow, which is 12-inch range, piercing 1 and reload. It's not a bad range unit. Your main weakness is your armour's a bit low and you ain't fast, especially when you've got a crossbow where you need to reload with it. Piercing 1 with 12-inch range, considering most range units are either 6 to 9 inch. Are either 6-inch with some piercing, 9-inch with not really that much, or 12-inch and nothing. It's a nice trade-off, I think. It's fairly cheap as well, fairly cheap. Next we have the warriors, starting with the Sisterhood. 11 points, 20mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 4, range 6, armour 6, nerve of 5, 2 wounds, height 2. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. It's not bad. It's only 3 points more than the man-at-arms. Melee stats better. 2 wounds. That's kind of it, really. Considering, yes, she's got a melee stat, but she's not survivable as the man-at-arms. I'd honestly take a man-at-arms over a Sisterhood, to be honest. The armour stats just doesn't justify the extra 3 points, to be honest. Next we have the Sergeant. 17 points, 20mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 5, range of 5, arm 5, nerve of 4, 2 wounds, height 2. He's got parry. 2d8 in melee, 1d8 at range. Evade, which is just 1 power to use. Use this ability when the Sergeant is to perform a breakaway action. The Sergeant may break away from any models it engaged with without having to make an armour roll and then perform a brace action if desired. So it runs off and then puts its shield down, ready for the attack. Not bad. Helping Hand. When this model activates for the first time in a round, roll a dice on a 7+. Add 1 power to the warband's current pool. That's not bad. That's actually pretty decent. Yes, it's not going to happen all the time, but let's face it, I would possibly always activate the Sergeant first. I mean, it's a warrior, so if you've got multiple Sergeants, you could get a hell of a lot of power with it. I mean, it's not that it's a little bit expensive, and really it's expecting that Helping Hand to be its main benefit. If it was maybe 15 points, yeah, I think it's slightly too expensive. I think it's a little bit too expensive. Next we have the Sisterhood Scout. 16 points, 20mm base. Speed of 5, melee of 6, range of 4, armour 6, nerve of 4, 2 wounds, height 2. It's got Scout and Marksman. 1d8 in melee, 2d8 at range, and it's got bow, which is 12-inch range. Sharpshooter, 1 power to use. Use this ability when this model makes a shoot action with its bow before any dice are rolled. Any hits are resolved with piercing 1. So if you've got enough power dice, you could give it a piercing attack, which is nice. Marksman and hitting on floors is always a nice thing for a range unit to have. It's 16 points, which a little, I would say it's a bit expensive, but considering what it does and what it can do, I think it's not bad. Next we have the Paladin Defender. 17 points, 20mm base. Speed 5, melee 4, no range, armour 4, nerve 4, 2 wounds, height 2. Parry, crush strength 1, defender, 2d8 in melee, none at range. Not bad for the points cost. It's kind of like the Abyssal Guard, slightly more expensive, but then again this has got parry and defender, so it's more of a defensive model. I mean, I'd probably give it a two-handed weapon, give it crushing strength 2, brings it to armour 5, which even then it's not bad. does make it a bit expensive, but crush strength 2 for what it does, I think it's brilliant, to be honest. Next we have the support, starting with the Gur Panther. 15 points, cavalry base. Speed 8, melee 4, range nothing. Armour 6, nerve 5, 3 wounds, height 2, and it's got vicious. 2d8 in melee, none at range. Reactive bite. If this model retaliates in melee, add a bonus dice to its roll in addition to any other bonus dice or modifiers that may apply. That's not bad. What you could do is get a few, hopefully get them around an objective. When enemies charge in, get extra dice. Takes a bit to set up, but if you know what you're doing, can happen. Speed of 8. Most models that are of the sweeping advanced sort of style or outflanking usually have speed 7, so having that 1 inch of speed could help a lot. Hitting on 4s is brilliant. Your nerve and armour, well, your armour's a bit low, but 3 wounds. With a height of 2, which most cavalry's height 3, so actually there's quite a few that's height 2, isn't there? It's not bad for its points cost. It's more of a defensive one, which kinda suit this faction to the ground, I guess. Next we have the Veteran Sister. 20 points, 20 mil base. Gives 1 red power die. Speed of 5, melee of 4, range of 6, armour of 6, nerve of 5, 3 wounds, height 2. 3d8 in melee, 1 at range. It's not bad. I'd definitely take it over the normal sister, that's for sure. The main problem with it though is its armour's a bit naff, and for that points cost you are getting a bit dangerous. It does give a power dice, which is nice, and if you combo that with the sergeant having the option of giving more power dice, that's great as well. It's a bit expensive, but I think support options is what this faction is lacking. But you know, you've got the speed and you've got the melee capabilities. I mean, would you give it a two-handed weapon to give it crush strength 1, considering it makes her armour 7? No. Next we have the large, being the Ogre Palace Guard. 32 points, 40 mil base. Speed of 5, melee of 4, no range stat, armor 4, nerve 4, 4 wounds, height 3. Steady, crushes strength 2 and smash, 48 in melee, none at range. Fairly decent large model, 4 wounds, crush strength 2, 48, hitting on 4s, which isn't bad. Steady is helpful, smash is always helpful. Armor 4, great, it's great all round. Nerves also really good, which I tend to notice a lot, not all, but a lot of large models, their nerve value seems to be pretty decent or pretty bad. This one is pretty good, although all its stats as well is pretty good. There's no rules that make it spring out, but considering what it does, doesn't really need to. Next we have the Spellcaster, and unlike most factions, there is 2. Starting with the War Wizard, 33 points, 20 mil base. Doesn't give any power dice. Speed 5, melee 6, range 5, armour 6, nerve 4, 2 wounds, height 2. 1d8 at range, 1d8 at melee. Shield short, heal short, lightning bolt long. Extra protection, which uses 1 power die. Use when casting shield. Cast the shield spell as normal, but then also apply the same spell effect to 1 friendly model within 6 inches of the War Wizard, even if the model is engaged. That could be good if you're having the War Wizard within a group, or within other models. I mean, this could be good if you are using it on maybe the Sisterhood, because their armour is low. It could also be good on using it on Paladins, because their armour is good, and having more defensive capabilities really boosts them. It's more of a defensive spellcaster. Shame it doesn't give any power dice, but hey ho. Next we have the Paladin Chaplain. 38 points, 20 mil base. Doesn't give any power dice, which I find it odd none of them do, but considering you've got a warrior that can give out power dice if you're lucky enough, like Smart is, fair enough, I guess. Speed 5, melee 4, range of 4, armor 4, nerve 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Though I suppose the stats are pretty good for a spellcaster. Parry, crush strength 1 and defender. 2d8 in melee, none at range. Heal, which is short, stun, which is short, shield, which is short. It's 5 points more than the War Wizard. Got extra wound, got better range, got better close combat stat, got better armor stat, that's for sure. Got good offensive and defensive capabilities and good support spell capabilities. The only weakness is a bit high points cost and no real offensive spells. But it's basically like a paladin on steroids, I suppose. Next we have the commands, starting with the Veteran Sergeant, 30 points, 20mm base. Gives 1 white power dice. Speed 5, melee 5, range 5, armor 5, nerve 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Inspiring and parry. 3d8 in melee, 1 at range. Rally on me, which uses 2 power die. This is group action. The Veteran Sergeant and all members of the group may break away from any models that are engaged with without having to make armour rolls, or the models in the group must end their movement within 3 inches of the Veteran Sergeant. All group members then perform a brace action. So essentially you're breaking away from enemies and getting ready to take a charge. This is really good if you're using paladins or anyone with high armour. Although if you've got veteran sisters, normal sergeants, or even men-at-arms, this isn't bad to use them with. It's a cheap command option and its stats reflect this. They're a bit low considering what it is. Hitting on 5s with an armour of 5 and a range of 5. It's not that brilliant, but it's got good support options, so I suppose that backs it up somewhat. Next is the Dictator, 41 points, 20mm base. Gives 1 red and 1 white power dice. Speed of 5, melee of 3, range of 5, armour of 5. I thought it before with how the model looks, but hey ho. Nerve of 4, 3 wounds, height 2. Crush strength 1, inspiring, 48 in melee, 1 at range. Smite, when chooses 2 power to use. Use at any time. The model has crush strength 4 the next time it makes a melee attack this round. That's pretty good. I can see why it's 2 power to use. But he has got 1 white and 1 red power dice, so plus you have got a chance of getting a lot of power considering what models you take. It's about right for the points cost. Well, no, actually, I tell a lie. It's a little bit expensive for me. The armour is a bit low. I'd have thought the armour would be 4, if I'm honest. Though hitting on 3s in close combat is really good, I've got to say so. Yeah, I think it's about 2 points too much, but that's just me. Next we have the Abbess, 44 points, 20mm base. Gives 2 white power dice. Speed 5, melee 3, range of 5, armour of 5, nerve of 3, 4 wounds, height 2. Vicious, inspiring, crush strength 1. 3d8 in melee, 1 at range. Blessing of the Gods, which uses 2 power. Used when the Abbess activates. The Abbess makes a walk action, then is marked as both activated and fatigued. Remove any activation counters from up to 3 Basilean models within 6 inches of the Abbess who are not currently fatigued. These models are free to act again this round. The Abbess may only use a special ability once per game, so use it wisely. So ignoring this special rule, what else has she got? Given 2 white power dice, that's great. Nerve of 3, that is extremely powerful. Nerve 4 wounds, that's great. 3d8 with crush strength 1, it's alright. Vicious ain't bad either. A bit more expensive than the Dictator, but gives more power dice, and the nerve is better and got more wounds. So 1 less dice in melee, but considering what else she does, she is the best. Although if you want something that can potentially smash a rock to pieces, the Dictator is what you want. Or if you want something that's a bit on the cheap side that can support other models in the group, in the warband, the veteran sergeant, as you covered. All of the command models have its uses, which surprised me because there's usually one standout command model, whereas the Basileans, all three of them have uses. The Basileans are a synergy force, and you can kind of see it in where you could get a load of power dice. There's some support abilities with like the sergeant and the veteran sergeant, having them move away and then brace for the attacks. You've also got a lot of defensive capabilities with the paladins and the paladin chaplain. You've also got a fair few ranged options with the crossbowman and the sisterhood scout being fairly good. You've got the crossbowman with piercing, and the sisterhood, yes, you can have piercing, but you need power to use it, and she's a good mobile unit. The main weakness is that they ain't the cheapest. Also, their armour, when it comes to their command models, is a bit low for my liking, to be honest. Other than that, there's nothing really that says they're bad. They are a jack of all trades sort of force, but there's nothing really that says there's something that's really amazing or something that says that's really naff. They've got something that can do everything. They are a really good starting force, and if you love to paint detail, these are a really good force to do. I cannot stress, if you really like painting ornate armour, these are an amazing force to paint. So, with that being said, goodbye for now.